Because one of the opening questions, where do you work? What's your name? What's your age? Dating status? One of the leading questions was, what's your body count? And not one of you answered it.
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
All of you are afraid. It's fine.
Oh, he ain't double
But
asked
just
that.
you
He
all.
ain't
No, we didn't.
I didn't hear that.
No, we didn't.
Okay, what's yours?
Huh?
What's yours?
Huh?
I lay down, baby. I lost count, baby.
Yeah,
I lay
you
down.
lost count.
What is you guys' body counts?
9, 10.
3.
Whoa!
Dixon.
How much is it?
It's like 11, 12.
11, 12?
Yeah, she's lying.
What was the question?
What's your body count?
It's 3.
Oh, it is? That's dope, that's
No,
dope.
2. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 2?
2.
Okay, bet that.
Being monogamous.
So can we ask y'all's body count? Y'all gonna tell us?
Yeah, what's your body count? Or no?
Citizens, saints,
I
and
mean,
angels.
God
we
bless
said it
them, though.
before. It don't matter, but 400 something.
What?
Allegedly.
Are you for real?
Allegedly, by the way.
Is this?
Yes. I mean, I'm old. I'm 33.
Wow.
Wait,
Did
what
he
is
say
it?
that 400 body count?
400?
something. It's like
Damn.
4.
That's
4
easy. Do you have
Do you
a
keep count?
Do
No, that's why
you
he's
have
so
a list
strong.
that you put like all the names in?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Legit though. I just
Just
really
say
want to
it's
Don't
know.
tell me that you saved the condoms.
It's accurate. It's like 415 or something.
But I'm saying in the event.
Once you have fornicated multiple times, you have now developed preferences. This is why God never wanted for us to have out of marriage. Once you've experienced things that you should have only experienced within wedlock, you develop preferences. So when you meet a really good woman, she's everything you need, but she can't turn it up in the bedroom like that freak can. You may pass up on your soulmate because she can't please you like the freak. And a lot of people have lost out on good relationships because they didn't come with freak of the week talent. I've had women, sisters admit it, I should have married him, but he couldn't turn it up in the bedroom.
What's going on, people? What's going on, everybody? This is Pilgrims in the Earth. First and foremost, all praises be to the Most High. All praise, honor, glory go to the Most High. Feeling good, man. Feeling great. Blessed. Yeah, I'm up late night. Like I always be. I haven't done these in a minute. I usually just be putting little stuff out there that ran across my mind. I actually been thinking about this for a few days now. I've just been trying to figure out how I'ma do it. But yeah, man, this is a very controversial topic. This one is does body count matter? Does body count matter in soul ties? What is a soul tie? I think this generation is kind of been desensitized sexually, especially American culture. Let me say this before I go into it. This is not to shame the women. This is not to put the focus on the women or the men. So, high body count for anybody. As you see, the brother said he been with over 400 women. That's a hell of a lot of women. And that's a lot of soul tying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's not good. It's not good. Me personally, I'm not gonna be the judge. I'm more so gonna bring some information and kind of chime in on it. Of course, I'm not a saint. I've lived a very, a very sinful life, might I say. I'm no saint. I've been, I've had my experiences, might I say. But yeah, man, I want to get into this. But yeah, let's get into what is a soul tie, right? So, a soul tie refers to a deep, intense, emotional, or spiritual connection between two people, often described as a feeling of being strongly drawn to someone on a level beyond just physical attraction. Sometimes interpreted as a connection from past lives or a shared energy that transcends typical relationships. It can manifest in romantic, familial, or platonic connections, and is frequently discussed in spiritual and religious contexts where it might signify a significant bond with someone on a soul level. So I like to ask people, Because, you know, when we're growing up, I don't think we're really educated on the importance of sex. You know, we always look at sex as it's just pleasure. It feels good. I'm just trying to get my thing off, right? That's what this generation says, you know. We're not really looking at it as, you know, we're becoming one, or we're sharing something with each other that can mean a lifetime thing, you know. So I wanted to get into something today. First, let's go ahead and let's get into what the Bible says about coming together, and yeah, let's get into that. First off, let's tap into Genesis 2:24. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. They shall be one flesh. So, one flesh, that's marriage. Coming together, consummating together in a sexual intercourse will make two people one flesh, husband and wife. So in a generation of sexual culture, who are we married to? You know, like we've seen in the video, the average person, the average woman, the average man in this generation has been with a countless amount of people. So does that change who we are? Does that change how we look at things? Does that kind of desensitize, you know, how we look at sex? Because it seems like in this generation, relationships don't last, marriages don't last. So could these soul ties that's connected with everybody that you've been with in your past, could that be a good reason why you can't connect with nobody? That's for men and women. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna get into some examples at the end, so stay tuned. Stay tuned, because I want to show y'all something where these soul ties can end and where it can lead to very dangerous situations. So stay tuned. So yeah, like I said, we're living in a generation where everybody is single. You know, the single life. Relationships have all these high expectations, you know, and we're coming into situations, and we're basically like trauma bonding. You know, a lot of people been through toxic situations. A lot of people have dealt with have a lot of how many ex-girlfriends you had, or you've been with 20 girls already, she been with 10 dudes already. You know, we have a lot to compare to, like you seen Dr. Umar Johnson kind of breaking that down, you know. So imagine, ladies, let me give you an example, right? Imagine you meeting a guy, you know, maybe, when do women settle down nowadays? Maybe what, 25, almost 30? So imagine you saying, okay, now it's time for me to settle down and find a husband, you know. Most people have children already. Let's already scratch that out. So you didn't already experience laying down and letting a man release inside of you. That's a whole nother conversation. Now let's talk about the experience of sex. Even men too. You done been with these women, all these women. Let's say you've been with 100 women. Like the guy said in the video, he been with over 400 women. Can you imagine the energy that he's releasing in all these different women? Because I'm sure that wasn't 400 condoms. You get what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But yeah, so we're just pair bonding with all these different people. Pair bonding with all these different people. Yeah, so, you know, you're just pair bonding with everybody. You know, your Wi-Fi has been connected to so many different, you know, sources, might I say. But yeah, let me give you an example, right? So as a child, you go to your first carnival. Your first carnival is a great experience. You know, you see the rides, you know, you get on your first ride. It's a feeling that you'll never forget. You know, imagine you've been to the carnival 50 times, 100 times, and you go, you know, you get on the carnival again for the 101 time. Do you think that is going to be a great connection? that might have been a bad example, but I always see, you know, when men always say, "Oh, she got to be a freak. She got to be a freak." You can look at the statistics, right? Even having a virgin woman and a virgin man have a more liability or a greater chance of that marriage sustaining than a woman who's been with multiple men and a man who's been with multiple women. So I think somewhere we went wrong, you know, and we're not educating our children, or we haven't been educated on the importance of sex and what we're actually doing when we having sex. You know, we learned about sex in health class, but you really didn't learn, you know, the actual bonding of it. But yeah, man, even, you know, we talk about education, sexual education. Soon as a lot of these children we're sending to these colleges, right? Let's say you raise your daughter up, you raise your son up, you know, hey, you know, HIV, you know, education, this could happen, pregnancy, all this. So you teach them that these things are bad and important, but then you send them off to college. Do you know the culture of an American college nowadays? Spring break. So do you think your daughter or your son wants to go to spring break? Or do you think they're going to say, no, I'm going to bow out of that one? I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get my education, but I'm going to bow out of that one. You're a fool. So what do you think they're doing at spring break? They're they're having Bible study? No. They're having sex, sexual experiences. And nowadays, it's a buffet. People want to try this one, that one. You know, I want this, I want that. Oh, I ain't had that one. Let me try that one. So it builds an insatiable lust for men and women. You know, I know we always shame the women. Oh, you've been with all this many men. For a man also, I'm speaking from personal experiences. You know, I've never kept it a secret about, you know, my shortcomings. You know, I've struggled with lust. You know, as far as looking at it and engaging in the activity, which I told you, that messes you up. That messes you up. And it also affects my marriage. It affected my marriage today because you've been so desensitized. You know, now you're looking at this person as a sexual object versus a partner who you should be bonding and building a foundation with. So a lot of people are getting in these relationships and they're still connected to the old Wi-Fi, right? So you got your front door open, but you got that back door open too. You know, I done seen people, man, you just jump from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationships. People need to heal, man. People need to heal. You've been with all these different people. You don't think that causes a psychological issue? It's everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. Oh, ain't no real good dudes out here. Ain't no good girls out here. What about all the people that you have soul ties with? A lot of people still in love with their exes, but they can't be alone to heal because they have them soul ties still connected. You know, you still connected with that girl. You still connected with that man. How many people you know still got that back door open, still talking to their exes? So there was a connection, like we read in Genesis 2, I think at 24, there was a connection when those two people came together. You know, what about women? There's something special when a man, you know, takes her virginity. What did Christ say to the lady? He said, oh, you have 5 husbands. We're going to get into that too. We're going to get into that, read that. You have 5 husbands. Matter of fact, okay, so let's get into it, right? This is John, the New Testament, John chapter 4. And I'll start at, let's start at verse 15. So, of course, you know, a woman is talking to Christ, Jesus Christ. It says, the woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. 16. Jesus saith unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. Verse 17, the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. And that says thou truly. She said, she thought he was a prophet. Like, dang, how did you know? So how did this woman have 5 husbands, but the dude that she was with at that time is not her husband? So she's been doing a lot of soul ties and a lot of pair bonding. You know, that's crazy. You know, man, you know, the statistics or the likelihood of somebody, a woman, using that example, a woman who's been with all those men, do you know the likelihood of her finding a husband? Very low. Very low. You know, it's very low. And a lot of this is tied in our culture, man. We're not teaching these kids the importance. You can't even tell these young women how to dress nowadays. And it's very pivotal around the 14, 15, 16, right when they start showing, you know, coming into their teenager years. We need to be putting this in their mind, their daily lives. Hey, when you go outside this door, you need to be careful. Because once you engage with a person, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all a little testimony, right? So, me personally, I lost my virginity at a very young age. You know, I was probably about 12 years old, unfortunately. But like I said before, there was so much pressure. You know, you see your cousins, hey, what's up, man? Did you get you some yet? It got so overwhelming. I used to lie, like, yeah, man, I got it. You know, it was good, you know. But yeah, I'm talking about, man, you got to get the curiosity of it, of hearing it so much. It made me go out and actually partake in it. But once I partook in that, my brain wasn't mature to even handle that emotion. Once I got it, it was like a dopamine. It was a high that I constantly had to chase my next high. So I say from the age of like 12 on up, I was just trying to get women. You know, guys in my school, you know, oh, we need to go play the game or go this, go do that. I was on women. You know, I was on women. I got to get that next kick. Or you want to go skating? I want to go skating for the women. You know, you get a girl number, you see how you can have sex with her. I don't think a lot of our people comfortable with talking about these things, but this is our culture, man. This is our culture. Yeah, I used to chase women. So once I got that feeling of ejaculation, that's a real thing. Your mind is just, it changes you. It changes you. And a lot of us, and that's why I always promote mother and father together, because there's a protection over these children. The woman, she's there as a teacher also. The man is there as, he's the overseer. He can see things, the changes in a child. We need man and women together, you know. Yeah, because a lot of our generation is suffering. That's why Christ said, adulterous generation. Is this not an adulterous generation? With an average person, you can't even find a virgin no more. Who a virgin nowadays? In high school, it was very rare to even find a woman that was pregnant. High school, you might have 2, 3, you know, but now, how many is it now? Not only are they pair bonding with the opposite sex, they're pair bonding with the same sex in high school, in middle school. So what spirits are you taking on with that? All these different soul ties, and you wonder why you can't find the perfect mate that you have in your mind, because you got so many back doors open. Well, you got so many people stuck inside of your mental. And ladies, I'm not trying to be so hard on y'all, but y'all have to understand, you're the receptor of the energy. So if a man is doing this, you're receiving something. Fellas too, when you laying down with these women, having unprotected sex with these women, what are you taking on? What type of energy are you taking on? How many people have she been with? So yeah, we don't realize what we're taking in our body and what we're giving other people into their body. All these soul ties, we're all connected to different people. And sometimes it can get very deadly. It can get very deadly where people actually lose their lives or psychological, mental issues. One moment, let me show you.
Get straight to Natisha Lance. She has more on a grisly murder that sounds like an episode on Dateline.
Oh, Ron, this is chilling. A woman wanted for murdering and mutilating her boyfriend in Michigan might be hiding out in the Atlanta area. U.S. Marshals say that this woman fled the area in Michigan 4 months ago, and now after she was named a suspect. Ryan Kruger's been making calls on this all day. Why do they think that she could be in Atlanta?
So I've been pressing investigators about this. They can't really give an answer. All they're going to say is that this woman right here, Tamara Renee Williams, she used to be a travel agent. She's traveled all over the world. She has ties all over the country, including apparently right here in Atlanta. And this is the important part. They tell me that the last time anyone saw her, she was driving southbound on I-75, tossing out the remains of her murdered and mutilated boyfriend. It's a very bizarre story. She is 39-year-old Tamara Williams. Police say back in September, she murdered her boyfriend, 39-year-old David Carter, outside of a home in Detroit. Now, police there aren't sure what the motive was, but they say she beheaded him and then hit the road, scattered the evidence. Carter's family members spoke with the NBC station in Detroit. They say they trusted Williams. They never thought she'd be capable of hurting their loved one.
We loved you as a family and we took you in.
We were all food. We thought she loved my brother just as much as we did.
I really miss my dad. I love him a lot. He was my hero, true hero.
And family members speak glowingly of David Carter. They say that not only was he a father, but that he was also a Little League football coach. And Williams, meanwhile, is considered armed and dangerous. So be on the lookout for her and be careful.
Important information there. All right, Crime Stoppers is offering a reward in this. We have all that information up on our website over at 11alive.com.
Yeah, so check this out. The story where the woman dismembered her boyfriend's body. If you look into this story, right, check into it. His family members was warning him about this girl. They said she had a lot of issues. She was very possessive, very possessive. She wouldn't let nobody around him. Wouldn't let nobody around him. She wouldn't even let him go 10 feet away without her being there. To the point where when he tried to find a way out, it was his demise. It was his death. So it can go either way. And I'm not saying the soul ties of many different people caused this, but it was the soul ties. I'm showing you how important soul ties can be. It can be deadly. As you see in this situation, a woman dismembered a grown man's body. And I believe she's still on the run to this day. So who knows where she at? But how many examples do we need to see where we realize laying down with somebody and having soul ties, it can be life or death. Man, people got children with multiple people. So you got children with this guy over here at this house. He over here with another man, baby mama. And she cheating on him with another dude who got, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's too much going on. So a lot of crime, a lot of violence, a lot of all these different things that's going on, whoremongering in our neighborhoods is due to all these soul ties. And like I just gave you the example of me, I had my first sexual experience at 12 years old. I've heard stories of people that were younger than me I'm talking about 8, 10 years old. So can you imagine being 10 years old, you losing your virginity, and now you out in the world being vulnerable, or other people being vulnerable? You know, imagine your kids playing with a 10-year-old that had a sexual experience already. That's what a lot of us got introduced. It was kids that already had that experience, and they was exposing that sexual behavior to other people's kids. So now we just all just dealing with each other. Now we're living in an adulterous generation. But yeah, man, I didn't want to make this too much long. I really was just putting this out there because it was deep on my mind. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, comment. Tell me what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and check that story out. It's very interesting. But yeah, man, y'all be safe. Be blessed. I'm out.
Have you ever felt an intense connection to someone that's hard to explain or break? That might be a soul tie, an energetic bond formed between two souls through deep emotional or physical connections. Soul ties can be positive, but sometimes they hold you back, especially if the relationship becomes toxic or imbalanced. You may feel emotionally stuck, unable to move on, or constantly drawn back to this person, even when it no longer serves your growth. Breaking free requires awareness and intention. Start by acknowledging the tie and setting a clear intention to release it. Meditation, cord-cutting rituals, and forgiveness, both for yourself and the other person, are powerful tools for breaking these spiritual bonds. Remember, freeing yourself from a soul tie opens the door for healing and new, more aligned connections.